This is the Poco X7 Pro, a new mid-ranger that promises a lot of bang for your buck. No laser beams included. So is this phone that competitive, or should you enter the quantum realm and get last year's model? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's find out in our Poco X7 Pro review. The Poco X7 Pro is an enticing mid-range phone, even outside of the limited edition Iron Man package we have here. Besides providing other nice features, this year there's a larger battery, better ingress protection, and a more powerful flagship killing chipset. The Iron Man edition has a special skin and UI theme. It comes in a unique Iron Man box with an arc reactor SIM tool, Iron Man schematic, and a red USB-C cable. Outside of the themed skin, the design of the X7 Pro is solid and straightforward. You get a flat back made of matte plastic, and a flat plastic frame, also matte. And the camera housing is more minimal than the vanilla Poco X7. There are just two cameras on the back. Like I mentioned, the ingress protection has gotten upgraded, all the way up to IP68 against dust and water submersion. And some markets even get IP69 protection against heated water jets. Like last year, the Poco X7 Pro has a 6.67-inch OLED display with a 1220p resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. This time around though, there's tougher glass protecting the screen, Gorilla Glass 7i, and you get good sharpness, thin bezels, and support for the HDR10+ and Dolby Vision video standards. The phone's refresh rate is adaptive, able to go from a smooth 120Hz down to 60Hz when the screen is idling to save energy. And the max brightness has improved this year. With Sunlight Boost mode on, we measured up to 880 nits with a manual slider. And in auto mode, we achieved over 1260 nits. That's plenty for comfy use outdoors. For audio, there's a pair of stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos enhancement on by default. The speakers have very good loudness, and the sound quality is good, with decent sounding vocals, rich highs, and some bass. The Poco X7 Pro has an optical fingerprint scanner under the screen, and it works quickly and reliably. There's an IR blaster, which allows you to control other devices with the phone. And the X7 Pro comes with 256 or 512 gigs of storage on board, and that's not expandable through microSD. Out of the box, the interface of the phone is Xiaomi's new HyperOS 2, on top of Android 15. Compared to the previous OS version, it's largely the same, just with some more refined aesthetics and under-the-hood optimizations. There are AI-based features here too. Google's Gemini Assistant comes baked in, with plenty of functionality. And Google's Circle to Search is meant to come as well with a software update. HyperOS 2 also supports AI functions in Notes. These include summaries, proofreading, translation, and changing the layout. There are plenty of AI-based tools in the gallery as well, like AI Sky, which can change the sky in your photo to whatever you'd like to see. And there's an AI interpreter for real-time translations and subtitles available within supported apps. And regarding software support, Xiaomi promises at least 3 major OS updates and 4 years of security patches to the Poco X7 Pro. The chipset of the phone is a MediaTek Dimensity 8400 Ultra. It's a generational upgrade over the 8300 Ultra in the previous model, providing a significant boost in both power and efficiency. In benchmarks, the Poco X7 Pro does a great job. It blows away other phones in this price bracket, and in some tests even approaches the scores of 2024 flagships. So the flagship killer label seems to fit here. There's plenty of power for a smooth experience with your daily tasks, and some heavy gaming too. On top of that, the X7 Pro brings an advanced passive cooling system, and the thermal management is great. While there was some thermal throttling during our prolonged stress tests, it was gradual, and considerably less than what you'd see on a typical flagship. Xiaomi has increased the battery capacity this time around, from 5,000 mAh to 6,000, and it's even higher on the Indian model, 6,550 mAh. The battery life is better as a result, with the X7 Pro earning an active use score of 12 hours and 43 minutes in our tests. It's a solid score, but battery life is not improved as much as we would have liked. Funny enough, despite the charging going from 67 watts to 90 this year, the increase in battery size means that charging speed is nearly identical to last year. With a proper adapter, we were able to charge the X7 Pro's 6000 mAh battery from 0 to 83% in half an hour, and a full charge took 44 minutes. And whether or not a charger comes with the phone depends on the market. We didn't get one, even in the snazzy Iron Man bundle. The Poco X7 Pro has just 2 cameras on the back. Xiaomi has done away with the macro camera. So overall, there's a 50-megapixel main cam and an 8-megapixel ultrawide. The main camera captures photos at 12.5 megapixels due to pixel binning. They have lively colors, no noise, and wide dynamic range. The detail level is okay, but it's not the best we've seen in this class. The heavy processing means that sometimes the photos may look too polished, or washed out even. Shots of people are solid. The detail is average, but you get wide dynamic range and good contrast. And with portrait mode on, the separation is proficient. 2x zoomed photos from the main cam are likable overall. Still, the washed out look is even more apparent here. In low light conditions, the Poco X7 Pro can enable night mode processing automatically. These shots taken with the main cam have good enough detail, good color saturation, and wide dynamic range. Noise is noticeable on all shots. The 8-megapixel photos from the ultrawide are average in detail for the hardware, which means that they're quite soft, unfortunately. They do have good-looking colors, and in most cases, adequate dynamic range and contrast. At night, with the automatic night mode kicking in, the ultrawide camera produces acceptable photos with okay-ish detail and cleaned-up noise. There is a visible red tinge in most photos though. Selfies come from a 20-megapixel front-facing cam, and they aren't great. The detail is poor, and the images are soft. Worse, it also appears that the focus is behind where the subject would usually be, which makes for somewhat blurry mugshots. The Poco X7 Pro supports video recording in up to 4K at 60 FPS with the main cam, and the ultrawide and selfie cameras max out at 1080p at 30 FPS. The 4K videos from the main camera are solid. There's enough detail and good sharpness, realistic looking colors, and good contrast. The dynamic range is wide too. The videos from the ultrawide camera are okay. There is acceptable detail, true-to-life color rendition, and adequate dynamic range. The noise is low too. In low light, the 4K videos from the main cam have solid detail, low noise, and good enough dynamic range. And electronic stabilization is always on across all cameras. It works very proficiently, even at 2x zoom. So that's the Poco X7 Pro. You get a straightforward design, a great OLED screen, and fast charging. And compared to last year, it's great to have better ingress protection, longer battery life, and a more powerful chipset. Where this phone falls short is the camera quality. It's just so-so overall, and the selfie camera is far from impressive. If you can live with that though, the Poco X7 Pro is a high-performance mid-ranger worth checking out. Thanks for watching guys. Here are some alternatives to the Poco X7 Pro on our channel, the Motorola Edge 50 and the Poco F6 Pro. Let us know what you think and I'll see you on the next one.